some reason. Is the Grandmaster going to be the new king of this game, or is he simply going to be a throwaway pawn? Find out my thoughts as I hereby summon all my imps to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So the new card this week is the Grandmaster. It is a card that just came out, and I'm going to go over the background of this card, some of its powers, and where I think its star rating is, and where I think it belongs in the game. So the Grandmaster is one of the most powerful elders in the universe. However, this power is considerably below that of Galactus. It has been implied that the Grandmaster can use his highly advanced technology to augment his abilities to perform feats that might be beyond him normally. While the extent of this is unknown, it is known that the Grandmaster has access to master of technology far beyond human comprehension. Grandmaster is a highly developed superhuman intellect with a vast knowledge and comprehension of many games. He has challenged both Death and Kane the Conqueror to games of strategy and won. His game theory is far beyond anyone in present-day Earth. He also has an encyclopedic knowledge of thousands of other exotic games played throughout the universe and can remember countless rules and data. Grandmaster is an extremely sadistic and manipulative individual, best known for his obsession to manipulate life forms into playing his game of life and death. He is also a pure megalomaniac and has often gloats about his vast power that he has. He is observed with conquering the universe and controlling all his games with an iron fist. Grandmaster is the supreme ruler of the planet Sakaar. He established a dictatorship over the citizens and is keeping them distracted with a series of battles among the planet's strongest slaves, which he calls the Conquest of Champions. Many people have been taken by the Grandmaster from far and wide to be unwilling participants in it, and if you're unlucky, you might just be part of the next cast. Grandmaster's powers are that he possesses the cosmic life and can manipulate the power primordial, which is the radiation left over from the Big Bang. This renders him virtually immortal, including immunity to aging, disease, poison, and conventional injury. He can survive and travel through space unaided without food, drink, or air. He can utilize his cosmic life force in a variety of effects, including levitation, the projection of blasts of cosmic energy, teleportation across space and time, and altering dimensions. Grandmaster is ever the showman and loves to take an unwilling participant at his location and put them center stage, where they can reveal their power to the crowd. This is represented in Marvel Snap by him moving a special but perhaps unwilling participant from your other cards at his location to the center stage and having them reveal their power to everybody again. So in Marvel Snap, Grandmaster is a 2 cost, a 0 power card with the effect of on reveal. Move one of your other on reveal cards here to the middle location. Its ability happens again. I put him as a 4-star rating. And let me explain why I believe he's a 4-star rating. Because there's a part of me that really almost wanted to put him Act 5. And it all comes down to one card. And that card is basically Wong. If you look at how the Grandmaster is stated, it's basically taking Wong and halving everything. You reduce Wong's cost by 2. You reduce its power by 2, and you reduce its ability by basically 2, by making it only happen once, and you basically have Wong. that when you look at stuff like like Adam Warlock, and you see that it's a 0-2, you go, why would I ever play this card? I've tried to play Adam Warlock before, and he never worked out, and that's supposedly a great ability to have if you can make it trigger. But the thing is that his triggers every single time, with the few exceptions. First of all, if Cosmo is in the middle lane, either on your side or your opponent's side, it won't trigger. Also, if it's blocked off by something like Professor X or Miniature Lab, it won't affect. Also, it has to be placed somewhere else other than the middle, kind of like a backwards Medusa, to get the effect to work off. If you play him in the middle, he will not take a card from the middle. But it kind of works like a weird Doctor Strange where it's pulling something into that location. So it's kind of like combining along with a Doctor Strange. That you do have to be curious and cautious about certain locations like you do when you're playing Dracula. Where if it's in if the middle location is something bad like sewer system or negative zone or something like that, you might not want to play into the middle, which is why it breaks them down a little bit here. But there's a lot of locations where it's going to be great. There's a lot of times where it's going to be Sanctum Sanctorum or Death's Domain or Rickety Bridge, where you can't play onto there no matter what, or Loop's Bar. But you also gotta be cautious about how many automobile cards you put into your deck, because you don't want to get a Forge to trigger again. As great as Forge is, you really don't want it to trigger that second time around. And it doesn't make you pick what you trigger. It's not the last card. It's just a random card. But with that being said, there are some great cards that work with it. Like the Gambit, triggering the Gambit another time. Or you can actually go with Rock Slide right on 3. You can play the Wong, and then right on 3, on 5 I should say, play the Rock Slide and then play the Grandmaster and have the Rock Slide trigger again for Rocks and Hawk. Another interesting one is to play with the Odin. Playing the pod once and then having it trigger another time with the Grandmaster and then having it trigger a third time with Odin to get that third trigger off. There's another interesting variant that I basically came up with this. Basically where you play Jubilee as your only on reveal card. And you use cards in the 6 and 5 slot that would make sense for it. We're using a lot of the ongoing here. We use the cards on here. Like the Living Tribunal and Red Skull. And Onslaught. And the Ronin to try to make this card, and the Double Dinosaur. And then you can even put some of the 6s in there. Kind of making this weird almost version of playing a walk jog that only has Jubilee, where you play the Jubilee down on turn 4. And you pull out something big from your deck, and then on turn 5 you use the Grandmaster to trigger it again, and then just on turn 6 you play a big 6-drop. Haven't quite figured it completely out, but it seems kind of interesting there. Somebody else can work on that more. Now for the rest of this week, this is a big key, big pull week. Other than the Grandmaster in this particular week, you have Loki. If you don't have Loki, I would almost spend 4 keys just to get Loki. Loki keeps dodging every single nerf that has come out for it. When push comes to shove, when you have cards and matches that matter, you put Loki in your deck. The other card in here is Hit Monkey. Hit Monkey has dropped a little bit since it used to be the big bad card that everybody wanted to get, but it's gonna come around. It's almost to the point where Hit Monkey is gonna be the secret sleeper that everybody's forgotten about, and there's just gonna be enough of those little cards to make that Hit Monkey hit for 10, 15, 20 again. So on this particular week, there is not a bad card to get. So let's find out what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Let's all find what's in the box. Boxes. Loki. Probably the worst one for me because I already have Loki, but great for everybody else. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, remember, play before the fun.